Okay, we're live. We got the return. I think our second recurring guest,
There
Louie
we go.
Varland,
Thanks for
Major League
having me.
Baseball pitcher. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Glad to have you
absolutely.
back, man. So we had to have Louie back on because Louie has had some stuff happen. He got traded from the Twins to the Blue Jays. So we'll talk about that. But Alex and I were just offline looking at your stats, and let's start here. How's your arm feeling?
My arm feels good. It's still in one piece. I can't say I have any like twings or twangs, but yeah, it feels good.
That's good, man. Yeah, we were just talking about your workload. You've got, I think, if I'm reading this right, 62 appearances this season between the Twins and the Blue Jays, which is, to me, that seems like a lot. It's definitely, your innings pitch count is the second highest this season in your career, excluding, 2023. You had some starts, so
Yeah,
obviously, like your innings pitch was a little higher because you had 10 starts. So you're out of the pen this year with 62 appearances. That's a lot, right? And
that is a lot.
you've done pretty well. So,
Well, thank you.
what have you been doing to stay healthy and make sure that you still feel good?
Yeah. Well, I have my routine that just consists of like a little bit of mobility, some activation, pre catch play and pre like outing into the game. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just a little abbreviated at when I'm in the bullpen. But aside from that, I do a lot of contrast and like cold tub, hot tub to help my recovery. Sleep and diet, I try to take it as serious as possible. But other than that, just sticking to my routine, doing what works, what makes me feel good, and then I'm ready to roll every day. So
How much of that has been on you? Like, how much support have you had developing that routine from staff of the teams that you've been with? And how much of that has been trial and error that's just you trying to kind of figure out what works?
yeah, both for sure. So I mean, uh, once I was drafted, I didn't really have a routine. So like since 2019 till now, I've like trialed and errored a bunch of stuff. I've been guided by my trainers, my coaches, all that good stuff, even my peers along the way. And then my routine now and what I know what works now is basically what I've done the past couple of years. And I took what works, got rid of what does not work, and then here we are. So it's kind of like all
Yeah.
mashed together from the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's funny. It's good to hear you say that, because I think there are a ton of like young athletes, especially that Alex and I are around, that are like they're looking for help, which is fine, but they also don't take any ownership over, well, I'm going to pay attention to like, is this working for me? Is it not working for me?
Right.
And they're just like, well, my coach said to do this and it doesn't seem to be working, but he couldn't be wrong. Like, and it's not even that
Yeah.
he's wrong. It's just like, it's not a perfect fit for you.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
How different is your routine than some of your teammates? I'm sure there's lots of similarities and lots of differences.
I mean, that's exactly it. To try to sum it up, everybody's different. Everybody needs something different than other people. So like, it's kind of like catered to me, but there's still like some sort of like blend with what it's sort of like what other people do, but it's more catered to me. It's. I mean, I always tell younger baseball players be coachable and do what works, but you have to try everything just to see if it works or not. For you.
That's so
Yeah,
true, dude.
absolutely.
Like you gotta, like you said, you kind of start and you get your feet wet, and then as you age and you get better, you're like, okay, I know what I need. Like we
Right.
talked about with your brother last time you guys were on, like the days where you're down and you're like, I still have to be up, like relatively for the bullpen. It's like, you know how much catch I'm going to play that day? As little
Yeah.
as possible because
Right.
I'm already cooked. But it's like learning, having the maturity, like you said, to be able to try things. I think that's like being adaptable. Like
Yeah.
there's a reason you have as many appearances as you do. You got to be in the top like 10% of total appearances in the year for
Yeah,
all bullpen
I'm
guys.
top 10 for sure.
Yeah,
Rogers, the reliever with the Mets, is at like 68.
that's
Um,
insane. I was just trying
yeah,
to find the stat, dude. That's crazy how many appearances you have so far. It's impressive. Like
well,
to be
yeah,
healthy this late in the year, like you've done and pitch. I mean, it's not like you're going out there and throwing an out. Like you're
right.
throwing innings every time you're out there. Like
Yeah.
it's like 20 pitches at least, probably. What's the shortest outing you've had? You got lucky and had like a 15 pitch outing a couple times.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, that's still, it's really impressive, man. I'm looking at those
yeah,
stats. I looked at Zach. I was like, I wonder if he's tired yet. I'd be tired.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm not totally sure if I'm tired or not. It's just what I'm used to at this point. But coming out of the bullpen, the best thing you can be for the team is available. So I
Mhm.
take that pretty serious.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, man. That's so true. I mean, I think that people don't really fully appreciate how much big leaguers are spending time and energy just making sure that they can stay available and stay in the lineup.
Yeah,
Because as soon as you aren't, there might be somebody else who's ready to go in AAA or some other player, even on the big league level, who can kind of supplant your role as soon as
right.
you're not available. So your job is to stay available first and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, and that right there pretty much takes up our whole day is getting ready to be available that night.
Mhm.
Whether it's recovery, showing up to the field late so you can sleep in a little longer, all that good stuff. So.
Yeah.
Dude, can I? Are we good on that, Zach? You got any other questions on that? Because
Yeah.
I'm.
No.
You good on that? What is it
Yeah.
like coming into? So you go from the Twins, or it's literally like they gave you an amazing opportunity, but the Twins are like,
Yeah.
we ain't doing anything. Let's get rid of these guys, right? And you go to the Blue Jays, who have the chance to they're pretty good. They're a good team. Like you could make a playoff run. Good team. What does it
Yeah.
feel like? Like, what's the difference in the vibe? Like, as far as clubhouse wise?
Yeah. I mean, everybody over here knows we're good. Like
Yeah.
we're really good,
Yeah.
especially our offense, dude. Like I saw a stat the other day. We have 40 comeback wins on the year. 40. That is a
Mhm.
huge number, and like it would be a completely different season if the Blue Jays won half of those. Like you wouldn't be in first place, would maybe barely be in like a playoff contention. Like 40 games that we've come back and won, all those close games. It's insane. And at home, I think we're 44-22 at home. So we like home field advantage is a huge part of about us. So like,
Wow.
and that stuff matters in the playoffs. It really does. So
Mhm. Dude, that's crazy. That's
I did
insane.
not know that stat. That's crazy. That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
And so what's the experience been like kind of trying to find, like, they were already good, right? Before you got there, right? A lot of those 40 wins happened before you've
Mhm.
been there for, you've got 11 appearances with them so far. So you've been there for a couple of weeks.
yeah.
What has that experience been like, trying to find your place amongst that, right? Like find
Yeah.
your role, settle in, do your part, right? Because they were good before you got there. Hopefully you can be a piece to make them even better. That's kind of the idea, right? That's why they wanted you. But talk about that experience.
Yeah. I honestly I kind of related to like early this season with the Twins. I joined the pen. I didn't really have a role. Obviously, you have to go out there and earn a role, like especially early in the year. So like that first couple weeks, you're being thrown in like close games, not close games, seeing who's getting the job done. And I got over here. I talked with the head coach. He said I'm gonna be in leverage. But also pitching in ball games we're losing and winning. So it's basically along the same lines. Like I could be thrown in any certain game, whether it's leverage, whether it's closing a game. He even said whether it's the fourth inning, the starter had a short start. So I mean, I'm used to it. Like I've experienced it earlier this year. So like it's not quite that different from my role with the Twins before I was traded, but. It's just being ready every day, and that was kind of like the whole message going in.
So for anybody listening who doesn't know, because I for sure know, leverage situation. Explain that.
Leverage situation. It's basically a close game. It's kind of like the team has the lead by 1 to 3 runs. Basically, it's basically like a close situation, but before the ninth inning.
Got it.
It could be a tie game even too. It's basically the close games where you need 3 outs, get the offense back up at the plate to score a run and keep the lead or get the lead. It's basically pitching in the close games.
Okay,
What's
that makes sense.
yeah, what's Schneider like as a manager?
He's awesome. He's
He
basically
seems
another player on the team.
Yeah, that's
he's
what
one
he
of the
seems
boys.
like. Yeah, he
Very
seems
chill.
like just a
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he looks like. You look at him in the dugout and I'm glad that's what, because I've watched So I've told this story before, but I grew up a Yankees fan. My dad only got, like I was brainwashed as a young man. They're awesome to watch, but you watch them versus the Blue Jays and he's just standing at the top of the dugout and he's just like bullshitting with the guys. And you're like, this guy knows that they're good.
Yep.
Like he knows
Absolutely.
they're good. Yeah. He looks like that kind of guy. That's so cool. I bet you that's a pretty good, I mean, not that, Baldelli isn't the same, like, is it like relatively a younger manager, right? But it doesn't seem the same kind of like, it seems like there's a gap, like you watch him manage, there's like a gap between him and then the guys relatively. Whereas Schneider looks like he's just like, oh, you guys want to hit Vlad Jr., you don't want to do that today? Okay, that's fine. We'll figure out something else. Like, that's what it kind of seems like. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's completely
so cool.
accurate. He's very approachable. Not saying Rocco wasn't, but he's very approachable. Yeah. Just one of the boys. Just out there trying to win, compete, and just have a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, as a right-handed pitcher, you're pitching in just about any type of situation. Have you had a lot of experience getting put in with like matchups? It seems like the matchup relievers are a lot of times left-handers, or they're a guy who has something like really unique about their delivery, like Rogers coming from like knuckle dragging submarine, right? The San Francisco Giants have a couple of guys who have like, they step way across their body and come like really 3/4, and they're throwing from a really severe angle.
Yeah.
And you can tell the usage of those guys is kind of like against certain hitters to create angles that particular hitter might struggle with. Your arsenal to me seems like it's pretty versatile. Like you can kind of go in and get anybody out with it. Has that been kind of your experience? Like you just pitch to anybody, doesn't really matter? Or are they trying to put you in situations against certain hitters or types of hitters?
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought this up because I forgot to mention it on earlier. But yeah, exactly. The Twins bullpen and this bullpen work things a little differently. There's like pockets with the Blue Jays where they want you to face these certain hitters of the lineup, whether it's 3, 4, 5 guys, because these 3, 4, 5 guys aren't good on my fastball, or some stat indicates that I would succeed with these 3, 4, 5 guys. So like with the Blue Jays, we have pockets, and that's why you see so many relievers going like 1+ getting 4 outs instead of just having a clean inning and going on. Where with the Twins, it was more like having your own inning in the 6th inning of this game. So it kind of worked a little differently, but which I'm not quite used to with the Blue Jays. So I'm trying to like get used to like going into like a dirty inning, trying to get 1 out, and then start the next inning for 2, 3 batters. But yes, they do want you to succeed. They want you to pitch us in the pockets where we'll have the most success. But on some days when other pitchers are down, your pocket can be the whole lineup. So you can go in at any time. And it's crazy how the season works. Like earlier this year, I had trouble with like getting lefties out. And then now recently I'm having trouble getting righties out. So like it can switch and move around and all that. So
I like that.
Have
idea
you been able to figure out? Go ahead, Alex.
Zach.
Sorry.
Okay, me.
Yeah.
That idea of pockets. So coming from a guy who's a pitcher, like the pocket idea, I really like that because there's certain parts of the lineup, like if you're just going to overpower parts of it and you're just going to have the confidence to like, even in a dirty inning, you're like, I'm going to beat this hitter because like my stuff plays to like this versus facing like, not that you ever really have this thought as a pitcher who's like, like mentality wise, you're never going to go in and be like, God, this guy's had my number all year. You're going to be like, well, I'm just going to go up there. Just got to have to figure out how to beat him. But it is like that idea of pockets versus innings seems much more evolved in the sense that it's like your ability to achieve success might be higher. Like, your job might be easier because it's already predisposed to it. But yeah, that's a really cool versus it. What's the old adage, like a guy goes out and they go, this is the last hitter. And he gets him out. This is the last hitter.
Yeah.
He gets him out. And then you're in the bullpen and you're just like staying hot. And you go, I guess I'll throw tomorrow. It's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zach.
My college coach did that to guys so much. My college coach was the king of that. Get hot. Oh my God, get hot. And they're like doing their like band routine, hurrying up and like just ripping balls really fast. And like the guy would, the pitcher would get like a hitter out and he'd be like, sit down. What are you doing? Sit down. I'd be like, I wasn't that year. I wasn't playing. I was injured, so I was sitting on the bench just watching this happen. Be like, oh my god, would everybody just calm down?
That's fun.
It's just like there's no plan. It's good to know. It's good to have a plan.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
When you have the experience of like, hey, I'm having a hard time getting lefties out. I'm having a hard time getting righties out. Either or, whatever it is. Like, are there things that show up in your pitch arsenal, in your delivery, in your feels that kind of like correlate with that? Where you're like, when I'm having a harder time against lefties, that means that my splitter isn't playing, or my fastball isn't riding, or is there things that show up to you where it's like, I can recognize that, and that means that I'm going to approach this hitter a little differently based on what my stuff feels like on a given day? Or is it just go out and compete? You know, like what's the framing of that for you?
Yeah, I guess normally with me, it boils down to strike one. Especially now in the bullpen, I throw 2 pitches primarily, like my fastball, curveball, and if I can't land a certain pitch, they're gonna sit the other pitch, and they're gonna get that pitch eventually. So obviously, if you're looking for a pitch at a hitter, you're more inclined to hit it. So like it's falling behind. That strike one is so important, especially out of the bullpen when like walking dies is a huge thing. So. I would say I normally run into trouble with certain hitters when I can't execute that first pitch, fall behind, and then have to rely on throwing my other pitch for the strike, and they know it's coming. So,
Yeah.
Did you get throwing 2 pitches? I know you have more than 2 pitches, but has this been the whole year, or has it been just once you transitioned to the Blue Jays, or that they were like, hey, we're going to bring it down to just 2?
No, I mean, I primarily throw the fastball, curveball, but I sprinkle in like my cutter, sinker, and changeup. But it's like it's under 10%, so like the hitters don't even worry about it. I mean, it would be smart if I throw it more often. That would make sense, and I'm trying to, but in the heat of the moment, it's hard to shake and go on the game plan. You know it works, so why would you do anything different? It's a whole kind of balance to it.
Right. No, I mean, it's the same thing. You throw stuff you have confidence in, right? There's no reason to.
Right.
It's like, you got plus stuff, like stick with the plus stuff. And if they hit it, it's like, oh, well, they hit it. I did what I can do. Yeah. That makes sense.
Tip your cap on the next batter.
I that might have been an ignorant question, but it's like, why would you only throw 2 pitches? But then again, Mariano Rivera only threw 2 pitches his entire career. So it's like, maybe
Alex,
it works.
If you could run your fastball up to 100 and your curveball was a banger, you'd only throw those 2 as well. I mean, you seen his curveball?
Yeah,
are you still?
It's in my
when
dreams.
you were playing for the Twins, some guys were calling it a knuckle curve. Are you still? Gripping
it's the same grip. Yep, I spike it and just throw it as hard as I can. Really,
I think you threw that grip all the way back to when we were playing college baseball together. Am I remembering that right? Have you always spiked your curveball?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I threw it back there. It was a lot slower back then. I just flipped it in there, but it's the same grip though. Yeah.
Yeah. So what velocity do you average now on your curveball?
86 or 87.
Yeah.
Right around there.
Such a gnarly banger, dude. That's so good.
I mean, I guess technically it would be like a death ball. That's that new trend, but it's like it's a curveball grip, but it moves probably like a vertical like slider or death ball. So
I hate that they just keep making up names. It's like,
I know
it's a curveball. It's a hard curveball. Like,
just call it a breaking ball. It's something that
no hitters up
totally
there like
agree.
No hitters up there like the dude's got a good death ball. No hitters saying that.
That's a very good point.
No pitchers like, I developed a death ball. Like, if you're a good pitcher, no one's like, I got a death ball this year, dude. Killing them with it. It's good. Ridiculous.
Yeah, they're breaking balls. I agree with that. Just call it a breaking ball, right? And there's a lot of varieties of breaking ball, but you throw out because there's so many. I think over the last 20 years, this has really changed in baseball and pitching. Like when I was 12, it was like, this is how you hold a curveball, and everybody was like, that's what you do. Okay. Now I think almost as many pitchers as there's that many grips.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
People are a lot more freed up to tinker and experiment, and technology plays a role in that. You guys have access to be able to change your grip a little bit, throw it once and see exactly what it changed. Mm-hmm. And you can decide very quickly, I don't know, I don't like that, or I do like that. And we can keep tinkering with that. But remember when we were kids and you play catch in the backyard with your friend and you'd throw a new grip and you'd throw it to your buddy and be like, did that move? That was our track man back
It was
then,
just the
right?
eye test. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the eye test.
Question for you. Do you guys, so we know one of our good buddies, Brett DeGagne, told us about like some of like the heat seam shift mapping stuff that they do with like how they create pitch shapes. So like, I don't know if the Twins do. I kind of underhandedly presume that they don't because, whatever. But
Yeah.
do they do that in the Blue Jays org? Like, do you guys have, I mean, I guess you haven't been through a spring training with them. So you haven't really had time to experiment or like spend tons of time with the pitching coach or like pitching development staff. But do they have that where it's like, hey, move up 2 seams or move back 2 seams and see like if that creates a better shape on the throw?
Yeah. I'm sure they do have it. I've been kind of hands off, like just doing like my own thing and do what works. But I've really worked with them on like mixing too many things up. But I'm sure they have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have pretty much everything you can imagine. So
that was because like the Blue Jays are, as you can tell, like they're a team that like wants to win perennially. Not that the Twins don't want to win, but there's a big difference between cultures. Like and you can even feel it, like you said, like at the ballpark, like you can feel when you walk into a stadium and you're like, even the fans care. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
you get a single. Okay, tell me if I'm right here, Lou. But like you get a single, or like when you played at Wrigley or you play at Fenway, like someone hits a single for the home team and the place just goes ballistic.
Yeah,
at a Twins game, you hit a single, they're like, "Oh, I better get another bite of my hot dog." Oh, we got
Polite
a hit.
applause.
It's like it's just so silly, and people are like, "It's a great environment to watch baseball," and you're like, "Is it? Have you ever been to a real baseball game?" It's
yeah. Especially recently, we've been playing really well. There's 40,000 fans out there.
So killer,
and, dude. It's unbelievable. Especially when the roofs close, the place just echoes. It gets. They're very passionate. They're extremely passionate.
I got goosebumps thinking about that. That would be so much fun, dude. Oh, put me in the nosebleeds and I'll be twitching in the seats.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about the trade a little bit. I'm curious to hear a little bit about the experience of like how that went down. The timeline of events of like how you found out, who told you, then what happened. Did you have any choice in the matter? Was there like a sequence of events leading up to it, following it? Like, I don't, just in a general sense, like, what can you share about the experience of going through that trade process from the Twins to the Blue Jays?
Yeah. Well, I guess to start it off I wasn't expecting it. Obviously, there was like some obvious trades that you could expect. Then one guy went. Then all of a sudden, 6 other guys went, and then we ended with 10 or 11 guys getting traded. But I was hanging out in the hotel room with pretty like probably a half the team, just watching the last hour, like the live feed on the TV, and then I started getting a call. And initially, I thought it was like spam because I didn't save the number. I don't know who it was. And then I looked over, it's New Jersey. I'm like, oh, I should probably answer this. And I put my phone back over, answer it. And then it was Jay-Z, the Twins GM. And then I run out. I run out of the room to talk to him. My world just got flipped upside down, basically. And then one thing led to another. Called my wife, called my family, called my agent. Then the next morning was the flight. Flew to Toronto, packed your bags, and yeah. And then I just showed up over here with like 6 outfits, about to hop on the road for another 2 away series. Then my wife comes and visits, brings me 8 more outfits. And then, so I got clothes, my backpack, and no car, no nothing still. Just like the bare minimum, just trying to, yeah. But, and then after I got the call from Jay-Z, the GM, saying I was traded, I talked with Rocco. I met some of my players, said goodbye, talked with, a couple other of the front office members and everything. So, yeah, it was wild. It's a crazy experience, a bunch of emotions, all the above.
Yeah. So there's a thing you mentioned that I think a lot of people, including myself, you kind of take for granted. You don't really think about. Did you own your house in Minnesota and you had all your stuff there, and now you're got like this place that you got to figure out what to do with?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I have my house up in central Minnesota, so it's a couple hours north of the cities. I have my
Yeah.
house there. I had an apartment in the cities for the season.
Okay.
That's still there. I still have the lease. All my stuff's still there, just sitting there. And then I took over a lease here, so I got 2 leases and a mortgage basically going on right now. Yeah, I guess you just kind of deal with it till the season's done, and then you can kind of get things rolling again. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Was that on you to find the lease? Like, or did the team have somebody who was like, hey, like we can get you an apartment, help you get set up? Because you have like a day to do it.
yeah, it's pretty quick. Initially, I was at a hotel for the time being. Then a player got traded from the Blue Jays. I took over his lease, so the
Okay.
leases can be transferable. I decided not to transfer my lease back home with the Twins just because all my stuff was there. My wife travels down to the cities, so she would stay at the place from time to time. So we're keeping that lease instead of transferring it. It would have been a whole process if I transferred the lease. It's all my furniture, all my stuff in there, and then I got to rely on somebody else to take care of it for me. It just does not sit right with me, so we're keeping that lease. But I took over this lease here, which is super convenient. It's fully like it has everything in here: beds, couches, fully furnished. Which is, and I just grabbed the key and walk in, so it was super convenient process.
Yeah, that works out really well. I think
Yeah.
that, and you're 27 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got a wife and everything, but I think a lot, whenever I see the news about like a 38-year-old player or like a 36-year-old player getting traded, and he maybe has a couple of kids who are like, it's during the school year, and like, man, what a headache, like,
Yeah. It could get way more chaotic for sure.
yeah.
It's like like we say what a headache, but then at the same time you're playing a professional sport for a living. It's like
Exactly. It's part of the job too. Like
yeah,
these situations happen all the time. It's just part of the job.
Yeah.
It is.
That's true too.
That's a good thought though, Zach. Like you don't think about it because you just like our perspective, we've never done it, right? And you've done it now. It's like, you're like, I'm still getting to play baseball. So it's like,
Right.
I'll figure it out. But yeah, you don't have kids yet. Didn't they say, I read there was a huge like kick up about Duran, like in his kids, they didn't want to leave the Twin Cities because they really liked their school they were at or something. And there was like a picture of Duran when he got traded. He was just like, I gotta tell my kids we gotta move. That'll be you, Lou. You'll be there. It'll have like you'll have your dog sitting there and have your kid, and you'll be like, "All right, guys, we're moving. We're out of here."
Break the bad news. Yeah.
Did you say that you found out before your agent did?
Yeah.
Is that typical?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
interesting.
guess in some situations, some agents couldn't get involved, especially if like that player is like a rental for the year, like 1-year contract. They're out of the playoffs, so they want to trade them to clear up, some cap space. So I think in that situation, maybe the agent like gets involved, trying to find the best fit, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's how it goes every time.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, how's the fishing in Toronto compared to Minnesota?
Yeah, well, it's really good. I haven't got to fish yet, but I've been doing some research and looking around and watching videos. I'm right on the water basically. I'm like 2 blocks away from the lake, but I haven't got out fishing yet. I don't have a fishing pole, but I've been on Facebook Marketplace trying to search for one, a cheap one I could grab, but haven't found one yet.
Dude, Zach, I
Right
was
there.
actually
that is exactly why I have such high regard for Louie as a human being, because he's a Major League Baseball player. He could very easily go and just get one, right? He's on Facebook Marketplace because that's who he is as a person. He's like, I just need a fishing pole so I can go and get a line in, baby. That's
Exactly. Something cheap and easy.
Yeah,
that's a guy's guy right there.
Dude, he posted, it was like in April or something. You guys had an off weekend or a couple off days. And where's your place at in central Minnesota?
Brainerd.
Okay, so I was thinking about this, Zach. Like, so my wife had their cabin. They have a family cabin that's in Cross Lake, so like 20 minutes from
Yeah.
And Zach's been at me all year. He's like, dude, we'll just drive up, we'll play some golf, and we'll drive home. We'll do it the same day. And I was like, we got to coordinate with Lou. We'll hit Eagles Landing. We'll check all the boxes. maybe stay the night, then we'll come back. But no, that's he was at Eagles Landing, and I was telling him, so one of our other good buddies. So this golf course, for anyone listening, it's right off of the freeway. It's like literally in the middle of nowhere, but it is gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
it's like super well manicured. There's like everything looks super thought out, and you're like, this is in a town of 502 people. What is this doing here? And
Right.
and Lou is just like, I'm just out playing 18. I'm just getting a rep in quick before I got to go back to the Twin Cities and do my real job. Go play baseball.
Sneaking around.
So good. So good, man. So good.
That's just tremendous. See, and that's the thing is, a lot of people forget too. Like you said earlier, like your whole day leading up to playing the game is making sure that you're ready and physically available. But sometimes that means doing something else, you know, because mentally it's healthy to like have some other hobby and recover a little bit, right? Some guys have video games, some guys have fishing, some guys have golf, but a lot of guys, they spend their morning doing something different, and then they get to the stadium and they do what they need to do. But if you're 24/7 grinding, it's not sustainable.
No, it's not. It's draining. You have to take a break. You have to get away from baseball. You have to do it. Otherwise, it's such a long season. It's a marathon with sprints in between. Like you'll get run into the ground if you just worry about baseball the whole season. It's it can be exhausting.
Yeah. And when you're on a good team, even longer.
Right.
You're going to play for a while. So going from the Twins to Blue Jays, who's your favorite guy that you've met now coming to the Blue Jays org? Like who'd you meet that you were like, that's cool?
Yeah. Fisher. His last name's Fisher. He's in the bullpen. He has to play with my brother. So instantly I had that connection with him. He's been great. Flew Hardy too out of the bullpen. It's probably those two guys I'm closest with. But aside from that, it's Chris Bassett is a character. He's awesome to be around. He involves everybody. Springer's just a little kid, extremely funny. And then obviously Max Scherzer just being the grizzled vet in the clubhouse has a presence. Yeah.
Is Scherzer? So Scherzer hits me as the kind of guy that like when he's on the field, he's just like such a bulldog on the field, but then off the field, he just seems like the kind of guy that he's similar to you, where he's like, I got other stuff going on. He's like, that's kind of what it seems like when is that accurate?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's a great teammate. He loves talking ball, but also loves just talking about life too. Yeah.
So Bassett, I'm really interested because like the way he delivers the ball is so unique that it seems like it would match his like personality. Is he that kind of dude? Like he's just like a quirky kind of like does his own thing kind of guy, or is that not? Yes, I
no, that's completely accurate. Yeah.
Like, and for those of you guys who don't know what Chris Bassett throws like, imagine a pitcher from the 40s. It kind of looks like that. Like he kind of falls off to the left side and just like slings it in there, but his stuff is gross. Like it's really yucky. Like watching him pitch, you're like, I couldn't hit that.
He's nasty with the baseball. Anything that you think you can do with the baseball, he can do. I'll tell you that.
Surprise me.
It's funny how you watch guys move, and their movement characteristics are oftentimes indicative of their personality, at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a thing. Hitters, pitchers, otherwise. So Louie, you're like 4 or 5 years in the league now, so you're not exactly a rookie anymore, but you're still fairly young. And you get in a clubhouse with a guy like Max Scherzer. What is it? Kind of a faux pas to like hammer him with questions and ask for advice? How much have you gotten like, and there's veterans, you've played alongside some veterans with the Twins as well, of course, right?
Mm.
How much have you been asking some of those older players, like for guidance, advice, tips? Do they offer it unsolicited, or is it kind of like, I'm not going to like pester these guys because they got their own thing going on. They're trying to perform too.
Yeah. I for sure ask them questions, but I don't want to be like that annoying kid that, just hammers them with a bunch of questions. Exactly. I don't want to annoy them. I try to be like a good teammate. Obviously, you're going to ask them questions. They ask you questions even. And then after outings, they come up and tell you what they thought about your outing too and ask the question. So it's basically like a back and forth thing. But I have been asking them questions. They have great advice and guidance and all that experience. So
I don't want to put you. You don't have to like blow up their spot or anything like that. But like, if there's anything that you want to share, like any pieces of advice that you've gotten from veteran players, from Scherzer, from anybody really that you've played with, what are some of the things that have helped you the most?
let's see. Yeah, I talked with Chris Bassett about being traded. This is his fourth new team he's been on. It's not new now, but he like, and he helped me with that whole process of like what to look for, who to talk to. This guy helped me with this and this. Like, it's basically going down the list on making sure everything that I had was okay and good, and and the whole process was easy. And then I remember like pitching in Colorado, didn't have a feel for my curveball right away. I almost hit a dude. I go in the club. I go in the dugout after my outing. Matt Scherzer comes up, say, "Hey man, like pre-outing in the bullpen, you have to throw more curveballs just to find it. The air is different, this and that." It's pretty much it's something I didn't realize like as I was doing it. It's my first time pitching there, but obviously he's been there, done that, gave me that advice. So obviously next time I'm gonna throw more curveballs warming up than fastballs because that's the pitch you got to find. It breaks a little different. That kind of, and yeah. So it's like questions like that and like advice like that. So
that's really cool, and that's a little nugget for the fans who just watch baseball, right? You go to different places, your breaking pitches behave differently because of the air. There's a lot of detail that goes into the preparation of these guys that just you don't really appreciate.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, Alex, I don't know. Should we start to wrap there? I don't know. I got nothing else. That was a blast to listen to, man. It's always so cool because it's like Zach said, you're just a normal guy who happens to get to play a sport for a living, and you do a really good job of like relaying it. You're not standing on a pedestal like passing down lessons to us, which I think that's the cool part. You're making it accessible, and it's like for people who listen to this, that's awesome that you do it that way, Lou. So I know you'll never change, but it was just a compliment. Like, don't ever change. Be you.
Right on.
That's
absolutely.
this kind of information, like just what it's like to go through these things, and for you to be on like a really heavy workload and to acknowledge like I'm figuring it out right now. Like I'm on a new team. I'm getting my routine. Like I'm figuring it out, but still having the confidence to be like, I'm going to go out there and rip it, and then take time to sit down with us and be like, hey guys, you want to bullshit for 30 minutes? Like that's awesome. So thank you for coming on, man. Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You set such a great example for really any high performer in any endeavor. Staying grounded and keeping it all in perspective is so important.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate professional athletes that set that example, because I think that fans really put you guys on a pedestal, and it's hard, I think, probably to navigate that sometimes. I can't speak from experience, but I have to imagine like being like, it's so common where people forget that you are a human being, like a guy who happens to be really good at hucking the pill, but like still just a guy, and you have to keep that in perspective, and you do such a great job of that, which is why we love talking to you. Right. And, it's always a pleasure having you on, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And
all right.
Best of luck, Lou. Go out there and get him, buddy.
Right on.
Go get him, man.
Thank you.
Yep. See you, buddy.
See y'all later.